The best character Marvel Comics has ever created is Wolverine.
That's not true. Hello, happy Tuesday, and welcome.
Happy Tuesday!
Happy Tuesday!
Tuesday!
We should get a bell, like a Tuesday
Bang, bang,
ding,
bang,
ding, ding. Welcome to
Round
the first
one.
ever episode of That's Not True.
It is true.
You're right.
Because it's Tuesday.
That's got nothing to do with it.
No, because it's not true. But it is true.
Today we are talking about who we think the best Marvel character is.
Wolverine.
Right. And to support Wolverine, Carl's got a Wolverine shirt.
Logan.
I have some arguments against
Also
Wolverine.
known as James.
But before I give my arguments against Wolverine, I will state that my favorite is the Iron Man. Is it? You can say the Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
The Iron Man.
Is Iron Man or the Iron Man?
The Iron Man.
Or the Wolverine.
So what is it, in your opinion, that puts Wolverine over Iron Man?
In my opinion, you know, his looks. Not really his looks. But, you know, he's got the healing factor going for him. Mm-hmm. He's got adamantium bones like 80% of the time. Because, you know, sometimes they get ripped out, which is a painful event for him. And, you know, he's old because his healing allows him to live for a long period of time. He was born way back in the day.
I'll give it to you that
fought in many wars. He's got all kinds of combat experience. He knows many martial arts.
His knife claws are
cool.
cool.
The claws,
that's
those
cool.
Shink, shink, snick it. You know. Yeah, I mean, he could easily take Iron Man out, no problem.
So I would say it's a piggy bank.
What's Iron Man got going for him?
I would say that Iron Man. I mean, first of all, some of the cool things about Iron Man is that he doesn't have any superpowers.
He's just a man in a suit.
He's just a man with, and he uses his intellectual ability, right? His intellectuality designed. I don't know if that's a word.
He's like Batman.
Designed,
just can't fight.
Exactly. Some of the best, like my all-time favorite superhero ever. I mean, you're all going to argue this isn't a superhero. Blah 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 blah. Is Batman.
Oh, he's a superhero.
He is the coolest.
There's just as many arguments for him being a superhero.
Because, I mean, he does, like, he's in the dark, and he's all creepy and maniacal, and, I mean, he's awesome, right? He doesn't need superpowers, he's whatever.
Best DC hero.
So I would say that Iron Man, because this is a Marvel thing, and, I mean, we'll in another episode, maybe we'll talk about DC. And, but Iron Man, like I said, he's designed this suit after busting out of a cave, building the Mark I Iron Man suit in a cave while being threatened by terrorists, right? Which is hard to do when you're under video surveillance. I mean, they kept looking at the guy and going, that doesn't look like the Jericho missile. What the heck, right? So that's cool. His house, this guy's house, like Jarvis, and all of the cool toys and technology.
But Jarvis just used to be a man.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But all of the cool toys and technology that Iron Man gets to play around with is pretty cool. And so I mean those are pretty much the arguments. I mean, his suit looks really cool.
But it's just a suit.
He's always upgrading his suit too, right? He's always coming out with this new kind of whatever.
See, that's why Wolverine's better. He doesn't need to upgrade. He is what he is.
I recognize...
And like they say in the comics, he's the best at what he does.
Well, and I mean, Iron Man is the best at what he does.
Being smart?
I mean, see, but Iron Man's body takes... Like, Iron Man is a tough guy. Tony Stark is a pretty tough guy. His body's taken some pretty nasty blows.
But Wolverine's been like, ripped in half by the Hulk.
So, and I mean,
he just heals back together and he goes right back into the fray.
I recognize that Iron Man has some flaws back, right? He's got the debris in his chest, right?
Well, actually, they surgically removed that.
Well, I know, but for a while, this was like a big
problem.
This was a big issue. And in case some of you guys, we're talking like from the comics, right? So we'll say some things that all you moviegoers are like, what? No, he's still got it in his chest. Well, yeah, we're drawing from a little bit more backstory than you guys are. Mm-hmm. Some of you. I don't want to discredit those comic book fans. But so there's that drawback, and there's the drawback that he's in a suit that his technology so far, and I'm speaking to the Iron Man movie watchers now, both Iron Man films, it's been his own technology that's been used against him. Right, so his weakness in a lot of ways is his own strength. Now, but I would say that Wolverine's got some drawbacks too. Drawbacks that maybe aren't necessarily drawbacks as a Marvel character, but that are drawbacks as I wouldn't want to be. I'd much rather be Iron Man than I would be Wolverine. And the biggest one for me, and I don't know if this turns me into an emotional suck or not. Wolverine is very, very old, right?
Oh yeah. They've gone into
Civil War.
The comics have gone into past what he is as an old man. There was a comic series called Old Man Logan, where it's like the world's kind of in an apocalyptic state, and he's old and gray, and he doesn't want to apocalypse. And they've got another series called The Death of I can't remember the series now, but it was dealing with like Wolverine the End or something like that, and it was to deal. The comic hinted at this is going to be Logan's final battle.
See,
spoiler alert, it wasn't. But
the way that Wolverine's aging in a lot of the comics, in the main, because I mean, Marvel does this and DC does this. They'll write a storyline for a character, and then they rewrite storylines, they change things, there's spin-off storylines, there's whatever, right? But in the main sort of storyline, he's aged. He aged from being born to being, what would you say? He's sort of stuck at like 35.
Yeah, like middle-aged. Yeah.
Middle-aged, right? So, but he aged from being born to 35 at a pretty much normal rate, and then he got to 35.
Really. No.
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 But I mean, he's definitely, I think so. He's stuck at 35. It would seem, right? Because he's been 35 for like a couple of hundred years now. It seemed like he's not aging at all anymore. It's not like he's aging slowly. He's just kind of middle-aged.
Yeah, but you could argue that with like a lot of different things.
No, I know, but I'm
from other.
I'm trying
not specifically Marvel,
but I'm trying to trash you.
No, yeah.
So
no, you're trying to trash Wolverine.
So, but here's my problem with it.
But Wolverine, he grows old, and they've shown that with some of the miniseries they've done, like Old Man Logan. Right, but, where he is old and gray.
But Wolverine,
with Wolverine Origins, that's when his mutant powers kicked in. Was when he was kind of mid-puberty, mid-teenage years, right? So if you think about it, for the first, from the time he met the X-Men, I think it was like. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it was somewhere like the 1800s. Settlers were in North America around the 1800s, right? Yeah, so somewhere around the 1800s.
Because like the Civil War was then.
Yeah, somewhere around then, I think, was the dating for Wolverine's birth and childhood, right? So if that's the case, you've got 200 years for him to grow to be a middle-aged.
I think it was I think he was born in the late 1700s.
And if you look, I mean, most people don't age too much if they take care of themselves between the ages of 20 and 40 or 30, 35, right? I mean, I don't think physically and in appearance, I'm almost 30, when I was 20, I looked
Pretty
almost
similar.
similar. I mean, I have a little more facial hair than I did then. It's
Which
a little thicker,
we will talk about.
Which
in
I mean,
debate.
this is a little bit of influence from Wolverine because he's got the like.
We will
really
debate Carl's
face and
facial
stuff.
hair someday.
Yeah,
but
sure.
but I mean, so yeah, I think he was born in the late 1700s because he fights in the War of 1812. I think, isn't that sort of insinuated in a comic at some point?
It may have been
Because he's got like the bayonet and there's like the British are coming and. But anyways,
yeah,
so
possibly.
I don't know anything about the War of 1812. I just referenced.
But that's.
Something
I think you're
completely wrong
pulling
with it.
that from the movies more than
Yeah,
comics.
but
I
yeah.
think.
But you have to draw
he's
from
fought.
both.
He's fought in like World War I and World War II.
But you have to draw from both because I mean, as a Marvel character and they're Marvel movies.
Well, you don't have to draw from both because.
But you
The
consider the movies.
The screenwriters weren't Marvel writers.
No, but you can consider the movies a spin-off storyline.
I would not look at Marvel at the Wolverine Origins movie and consider that canon because it was garbage.
And canon, for those of you who don't know, is staying true. If you're staying true to canon, you're staying true to the story from the comics, the originals. We're about to wrap up, but like I was saying, I think Wolverine's biggest drawback is that, in my opinion, he is doomed to a life alone.
And Iron Man is just a dude in a suit.
But I mean, how many?
Just a dude in a suit.
But how many women is Wolverine gonna watch?
You get him out of that suit, and he's just a man.
Playboy, millionaire,
okay,
philanthropist.
if you want to quote, yes,
okay.
He is all those things, but he's not.
He's a cool man.
He's a very cool human being, but he's got no powers. He's got no. He's just smart.
He's just smart,
right? He's just a genius, which that's a very cool thing, I guess. And he's got a lot of money, but I mean, so is Bill Gates.
True,
right?
But he's invincible.
Right, of course. Yes, Windows 7 has made Bill Gates invincible. Watch out. But yeah, like, without the suit, he is just a man.
A man.
He's not a superhero. He's just a rich, smart person.
Fair.
Right? Like, if he never built the suit of armor, he would just be Tony Stark.
He'd be Tony Stark.
With the suit, he becomes Iron Man. Right? Now, you look at a parallel character who you referenced earlier, Batman. Mm-hmm. Without the suit, he is still Batman. Right? Because it's not the suit and the gadgets that make him Batman. It is his fighting ability and his knowledge that make him Batman.
But Iron Man couldn't be Iron Man without...
But he can't be Iron Man without the suit.
But the suit couldn't come into existence if not for him being who he is.
This is true.
No one else could design that suit.
This is true, but without the suit, he's just a man.
True. Okay.
He can't be Iron Man without the suit.
We're going to wrap up. But, so yeah, my final argument would be that I think Wolverine's strongest point is also his drawback. He's invincible, he's going to live a very, very long time, and therefore he's going to see a lot of loved ones die.
It's also a very nice perk. You get to live for a very long time.
I mean, watching loved ones die can be a benefit depending on the loved ones. And yes, I would also agree that his drawback is that get this guy out of the suit, and he's a lot less than he is
also just
with
a
the
suit.
Right. It's just a suit, but it's a really, it's a sexy suit.
Cars break down. The Iron Man suit breaks down.
We're going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Go to BradyTV.com. Post down below. What is your favorite Marvel? What's your favorite Marvel hero? Character? What one would you want to be? We will.
Who do you like better?
Yeah,
Iron Man, Wolverine.
Next week we will reveal the winner out of all the votes down below, and we will tell you, according to you, who the greatest Marvel character is of all time. And please comment down below and let us know what you want us to talk about. Yeah. What should we debate? What should we argue back and forth at? So you can comment that down below or email BradyTV at thatsnottrue@bradytv.com. Shall we end the show?
Let's do it.
We'll see you guys next week.